All right, 8th graders, this is to help you review for your test next week. Miss Pearson created this Trashketball review for you to do in class, and it parallels your test beautifully. So let's take a look at the first one. We're going to evaluate, and it's 4.3 times 10 to the 3rd times 3 times 10 to the 5th. So we're going to multiply numbers in scientific notation. What do? We multiply the first factors together. So 4.3 times 3. 3 times 3 is 9. 4 times 3 is 12. That's over 1 decimal place. So in our answer, we have to go over 1 decimal place. So the first factor will be 12.9 times 10 to the, when we're multiplying with the same base, we keep the base and we add those exponents. So this is 12.9 times 10 to the 3 plus 5 is 8. But if your teachers want your final answer in scientific notation, this is almost in scientific notation, but not quite. The decimal point's not in the right spot. So to rewrite in scientific notation, you think about your good friend Lars. If we have to move our decimal point to the left, we'll add onto the exponent, and if we have to move our decimal point to the right, we will subtract off the exponent. So let's see, we're moving left. Left is add. How many places left? We moved 1 place left, so we'll add 1 here. So that becomes 1.29 times 10 to the 9th. So that's the final answer for number 1. Let's take a look at number 2. So for number 2, your teachers need you to evaluate this. And because this test is on everything you learned this year, you still have to remember about negative exponents. Miss Gandra likes to say, kick it to the basement, drop it like it's hot. If you have a negative exponent, that becomes a fraction. It's a teeny, teeny, tiny number. So 3 to the negative 2, that means 1 over 3 to the 2nd power times 2 to the 2nd times 1/3 to the 0. Okay, so negative exponents, it's 1 over, you keep the base of 3, you change that exponent to a positive. So that means 1 over 3 to the 2nd means 3 times 3. So that piece will be 1 over 9. Here, times 2 to the 2nd power. 2 to the 2nd power means 2 times 2. And 2 times 2 is 4. So 2 to the 2nd power would be a 4. So it's 1/9 times 4. 1/3 to the 0 power. Any number raised to the 0 power is 1. So 1/3 to the 0 power means we'd be multiplying that by 1. And now this 4 could be 4 over 1. We're just going to multiply straight across the top, straight across the bottom. 1 times 4 is 4. Again, multiplying by 1 won't change the value. And 9 times 1 is 9. So that final answer is 4/9. Let's move on to number 3 on your review. Again, very similar to what you can expect on your actual test. So right here we have 2 to the negative 4th over 2 to the 4th, okay? So Mrs. Gandra likes to say, drop it like it's hot or kick it to the basement. So if you have 2 to the negative 4th up top, that really means 1 over 2 to the 4th. This 2 to the 4th won't leave downstairs. That's already a positive exponent. So you'd have to then say times 2 to the 4th. So this becomes 1 over, well, 2 to the 4th is 16, times 2 to the 4th is 16. That's 1 over 16 times 16, I believe, is 256. Don't quote me on that one, but I can tell you the value is not 1. So letter A won't work. Let's go on to letter B. Ooh, I'm going to talk about another way you could do letter A. Letter A, we could simplify using the laws of exponents. If you're dividing, you can keep the base and subtract the exponents. So this becomes 2 to the negative 4 on top minus 4. So that becomes 2 to the negative 8th power. 2 to the negative 8th is not 1. It's 1 over 256. I only noticed when I looked at the second one, I was like, oh, it's exciting. We could actually use our laws of exponents. So 2 to the negative 4th times 2 to the negative 4th. Now we're multiplying. So we would keep our base of 2. And guess what? We'd add our exponents. Negative 4 plus 4. That becomes 2 to the negative 4 plus 4 is 0. And guess what 2 to the 0 power? It's 1. Yay! That's letter B. Let's figure out the other ones for fun. 4 to the 0 is 1 times 4 to the first is 4. All that raised to the first power. Well, 1 times 4 is 4 to the first. That's just 4. And I need to figure out which one was 1. Right here, 4 to the 0 is 1 times 4 to the 0 is 1 times 4. 1 times 1 times 4 is 4. Definitely letter B. That turns out to be a 1. All right. Add and write your answer in scientific notation. Okay. To add in scientific notation, you always want to have your exponents have to match. If you're going to add or subtract in scientific notation, you have to have matching exponents on your base of 10. So these exponents have to match in order for these to be able to be added. And what you always want to do is you always want to go to the higher exponent. It's just going to make it easier for the first factor to stay in scientific notation. So if this exponent is a 3, I need to take this 2 and make it a 3. So how am I going to make that 2 a 3? I'm going to add 1, and we know Lars is left add. So I have to move that decimal point 1 to the left. So now I'm going to take 2.3 times 10 to the third. I'm going to line it up vertically, plus, this is 0.91. I'm lining up my decimal points here, times 10 to the third. Your teachers have shown you this remains times 10 to the third. Now you're just going to add those first factors. So 2.3 is 2.30. We rewrote this so our exponents could match, plus 0.91. 0 plus 1 is 1. 3 plus 9 is 12. Put down a 2, carry a 1. 2 plus 1 is 3. So the answer here is 3.21 times 10 to the third. That's letter D. I hope that helped. Let's keep rolling through. Let's take a look at number 5. On average, each person in the U.S. purchases 250 cups of coffee per year. There's 316.1 million people living in the U.S. How many cups of coffee were purchased in 1 year? Wow. Okay. So each person purchases 250 cups, and there's that many million people. So I believe if I want to write that out in standard form, this would be 316 and then 100,000. So 316 million with 100,000 is 316.1 million. And we would need to multiply that by 250 because each person purchases 250 cups. So out of these 316 million people, everybody is going to purchase, each person is going to purchase 250 cups of coffee. So we got to multiply those. I'm going to put these both in scientific notation in order to multiply. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this is 3.161 times 10 to the 8th times, this is 1 2 places over, 2.5 times 10 to the second. When we're multiplying in scientific notation, we just multiply our first factors together. Oh, great. 3.161 times 2.5. 5 times 1 is 5. 5 times 6 is 30. Put down a 0, carry a 3. 5 times 1 is 5, and 3 more is 8. 5 times 3 is 15. Put down a 0. 2 times 1 is 2. 2 times 6 is 12. Put down a 2, carry a 1. 2 times 1 is 2, and 1 more is 3. 2 times 3 is 6. I'm going to add those up. 5, 2, 8 and 2 is 10. 5, 6, and 3 more is 9. And 6 and 1 is 7. And we have to move over 1, 2, 3, 4 with our decimal point. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is 7.9025 times 10 to the, we need to go ahead and add our exponents. When we multiply, we keep our base of 10 and we add our exponents. 8 plus 2 would be 10. So your final answer would be 7.9025 times 10 to the 10th. That's letter A. All right. We're going to keep on going. Number 6, what is this number written in scientific notation? Well, we know this is a big, huge number, so I can eliminate anything that has a negative exponent. Let's see how many places over. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So this is 3.49 times 10 to the 9th power. There you go. Let's keep going. Rotterdam has approximately 29,094 residents, and Schenectady has approximately 6.6135 times 10 to the 4th residents. How many times as much is the number of residents in Schenectady as the number of residents in Rotterdam? Okay, I think what they're saying to us is if I rewrite this in scientific notation, this would be 2.9094 times what number would get me up to 6.6. I better write that in scientific, sorry. So this first one is 2.9094 times 10 to the 1, 2, 3, 4 times 10 to the 4th times what would get me up to 6.6135 times 10 to the 4th. Well, I would say how many times? Well, first of all, they're both 10 to the 4th. So I would say 2 times what gets me to 6? I'd say it's about 3 times as great. So we're just looking for what number here. How many times as much is the number of residents in Schenectady as in Rotterdam? Seems as though there's 3 times as many people living in Schenectady than as in Rotterdam. Because 2.9 is about 3. 6.6, you know, I'm going to round that to 6. For right now, I don't need to get the exact value. If your teachers do expect the exact value, you'd have to take 6.6135 and divide that by 2.9094. See, about 2 or maybe 3 times as large. Because this is about 7 divided by 3. 7 divided by 3, you know, is about 2.5. Maybe not even 2.5. And to tell you the truth, because I don't have a calculator in front of me, I'm not going to do this actual division, but I guarantee you there's 2 to 3 times as many people in Schenectady as in Rotterdam. All right, let's see if I can squeeze one more question into this video. It's going to end at 15 minutes, so I don't think so. So I'll make a second video for the rest of the problems. I hope this is helpful to some of you.